Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Snatching Your Mentals episode. I am your host, King James, and I'm going to take you down the rabbit hole. Follow me on this journey. Tonight, we're going to discuss the moon. I had someone ask me to do this, so here we go. Some people want to know if the moon landing was real or if the moon landing is fake. My job here tonight is not to convince you either or, but just to present you with some breadcrumbs, a few things that I found to make you go, hmm. Let's get started, shall we? A lot of people seen the moon landing on TV back in the 60s. I want to say it was 69 to be exact. 1969. America, the first human beings to land on the moon. So it was told, right? And I keep this short and simple, real simple, to make you understand it a little better. To kind of put it in perspective, right? Let's kind of put it in perspective real quick. So if we look at the Van Allen belts, right? Here you see the Van Allen belts, right? There you see the moon, right? So this is Earth. Somewhere in here, they took off from the United States. I think it was like around here somewhere, and flew to the moon. That's where they went, y'all. And I might need to read this thing. Maybe it's some kind of information on about how they did that. Let's see. I don't know how much y'all know about the Van Allen belts, but if you need me to tell you, I will. I'll tell you a little brief thing about it. Matter of fact, let me allow NASA to tell you a brief thing about the Van Allen belts. Let me give you some history on that. So this is NASA's website here. This is their page. It says NASA's Van Allen probe spot an impenetrable barrier in space. Wow. Now also it says 2 donuts of seething radiation that surround Earth called the Van Allen radiation belts have been found to contain a nearly impenetrable barrier that prevents the fastest, most energetic electrons from reaching Earth. So there you have it. Electrons can't even come through those things, right? But that's what NASA says. I didn't make that up. They said they found an impenetrable barrier in space, which kind of makes sense to me, you know. And let's before we get too much in that, let's go and see when did that take place exactly. Like when was the moon landing, and when did they discover? First, let's find when the moon landing was. Or first, let's find out when they discovered the Van Allen belts. Let's do that first. I think that's a good route to go. So give me a second here. Let's pull that up for you guys and gals. Here we go. Back on NASA's webpage here, as you can see. Don't worry, I spared you the boredom of reading it all, but you can go back to this page yourself and read it all to get further information. Here is a little depiction of the Van Allen belts, the donut around the Earth. And here I highlighted where it says when it was discovered. So let's blow that up a little bit so I can make sure y'all see it real good. Oh, that's not what I want you to see. Let's get that highlighted. Let's highlight this right here. This is important right here. The Van Allen belts were the first discovery of space age, measured with the launch of a U.S. satellite Explorer 1 in 1958, which I'm guessing they saying it was the first thing they sent out of space, or the first satellite they sent out of space. They're saying Explorer 1. The Van Allen belts were the first discovery of the space age, measured with the launch of the U.S. satellite Explorer 1 in 1958. Y'all see that there? 1958. So they found out that this invisible barrier that they're talking about here, they found out that this exists in 1958. And this is NASA's page here. As y'all can see here, you can go here to read more on that on the NASA's page. I didn't make it up. I'm just here sharing with you guys, right? So now next, I think we should go and find out when was the Apollo mission where the fellas landed on the moon. So let's see if we can find that out real quick. And I think that kind of help us put things in perspective a little, right? If we could figure out, we know 1958, they learned about the Van Allen belts and its impenetrable barrier, when nothing could penetrate it, right? So let's see here. Here's the moon landing. Let's blow that up. Let's see when that was. It says a moon landing is the arrival of a spacecraft on the surface of the moon. This includes both crewed and robotic missions. The first human-made object to touch the moon was the Soviet Union's Luna 2 on September the 13th, 1959, 1 year after they discovered the Van Allen belt. And then the United States Apollo 11 was the first crewed mission to land on the moon on July 20th of 1969. So even though they found the impenetrable barrier, they still went to the moon. That's interesting. And while I'm on this topic here, I'm looking at this photo right here. I don't know if y'all see it or not. This photo that I'm circling with the first photo on the left here, with the man looking at the flag. And this always intrigued me of the shadows, right? You see there's a shadow of, I guess this is their ship they landed in, and it's going that way, right? It's going that way. And you see this guy here, shadow, is coming down kind of this way, right? And then here's a flag here, right? And where is this shadow, y'all? Which way is this shadow going? Can y'all see? It looks like it's going that way, right? But that's neither here nor there right now, right? Or maybe it is. Let's do some research on some shadows of the moon landing. Let's check that out, right? So I think the best one is the picture that I used for my thumbnail. Can y'all see that picture there, y'all? Check it out. So first things first, right? As you can see on his helmet here and the side of his body, there is a heavy light source coming in from this direction here on the right side, right? And then there's another one on this side, you see there? But it's coming more from above, coming down that way, it looks like, because this side of the body is completely dark. So all the light is coming from this side here of his body. The majority of it is well lit. You can even see inside of his inner thigh there, there's light on that leg. Like there's a lot of light source coming from this direction, which will put his shadow over here somewhere, right? That's where it should be, right? I mean, I'm no genius, but that's where it should be. All the shadow should be over here, right? Now I want y'all to note, after I said that, let's take a look into the reflection of his headgear there. Again, all the light sources coming this way, right? So I would assume, maybe I'm wrong, that this is the man taking the picture of him right here, right? Maybe so. Neither here nor there. Again, this side of his body which would be the left side of his body, is well lit. The right side of his body is completely dark, indicating the light source is coming from this direction over here on his left side. But here you see what appears to be his shadow. And in that shadow, you see the light source would be coming from behind him, right? To put the shadow out that way, going straight forward. And look at there. Those shadows are straight forward there. Kind of going in kind of different directions, but that's another story. So if this guy's shadow is going that direction, this thing object here should be going the same way, right? That's if this photo was real, right? Where's this shadow coming from? And this shadow, what is that? Where is all these directions coming from? I'm just saying. And again, people may say it's because of his concave face gear there. Okay, so maybe that's true. So why isn't his shadow over here though? Right? If the light's coming this way, boom, this shadow should be over here, going that way. And the guy in the center is the proof for that, because he's directly in center of him. I would assume he's the guy taking the picture, even though I don't see a flash. And it's supposed to be pitch black there. There's no stars anywhere. So that's just one thing there, of me making me go, I don't know. I don't know what's the deal with that. So one we got is the Van Allen belts being impenetrable. Two, we have the light source with the bad Photoshop photos and all this craziness over there. Three, we have NASA saying that it's impenetrable, right? So let's kind of go back to the old way of thinking a little bit and see what the people before NASA believed and how they described the Earth, right? Let's see here. And I'm gonna tell you what, the way they describe it would kind of help them get to the moon, right? Because this is what they said back then, right? So in the old depiction of how the Earth was made, is that this is the Earth here, circle of Earth. This is the circle of Earth. This is all of Earth right here, right? Scaled down. This is your sun. This is your moon. This is your firmament. These are your stars, right? And they all sit inside of this. So by this depiction, maybe you can go to the moon, right? You can land on it, because it's not out here. It's not beyond now what they call the Van Allen belt. Then they call it the firmament. So the only way for this all out here, you take away the water, you take away all this, and you put all the stars, all the moons, and all the billions of galaxies outside of here. And this is the top part of the dome. Let's make a big circle here, right? The only way to get to these things that's outside of here would be able to go through this barrier. They call the Van Allen belt. The wise people back then call it the firmament or the dome. And let's just look at this picture a little bit for any other looking at there. Yeah, I want to see where you can find all this stuff talking. That's they speaking of here in the Bible. The firmament is mentioned in Genesis 1:7 through 8, Job 37:18, Exodus 24:10, and Ezekiel 1:22 through 36. The waters above, which is this here, is spoken in Genesis 1:7 through 8. And I'm guessing that's Paul's or Psalms, or maybe Psalms. Not sure what PS stands for. That one I have to get back to you on. So again, the realm of God, which people wonder why there is different mentions of heavens, right? So, in the Bible, if you read it, it's talking about the birds flying in the heavens right here, right? Then you got the firmament, which is also this barrier here, which is holding back these waters. And then you have the realm of God, where God hangs out at, where he lives. Or God lives, not he or she, forgive me. But anyway, so all these things right here, if y'all just want to take a minute, pause the video, and look these things up, you can find more about this depiction here. But I bring this picture up here to say that both people, both errors, mention a barrier. Whether you want to call it the firmament or whether you want to call the Van Allen belt, both say it's impenetrable. Impenetrable barrier. That's just something to make you think a little bit. I'm interested in what you have to say about this topic. If you want me to speak more and show you more, I'm willing to do so. Just get in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you believe the moon is real, and the moon landing is real, explain to me how did that work and what you believe, and I'm all willing to listen and do some research. And if you believe it is fake, get inside the comment sections and let me know what you think and what you know, and I'll do some research. But this has been another episode, Snatching Your Minerals. I am your host, King James, and as always, I appreciate you tuning in and taking the time to make you think, or allowing me to make you think. Because you know my motto, I'm just here to feed your mind. See you on the next channel, on the next episode, I should say. God bless. Good night.